Hello everybody and welcome back. So we got a few test drives under our belt. I put about an hour, give or take, and a couple miles, maybe 2, 3, 4 miles on this. And I gotta say, it's very comfortable. So today we're gonna be working on getting all the body panels welded up and finished. And also, as a side note, I'm gonna be repairing the hood. I went for a fun little test drive off camera. My son came up here and wanted to race me on his four-wheeler. So I was putting around on this and I thought maybe I could drive over the gate track at the front of the property. There's a V-groove gate that runs up there and the groove sticks about 1.5 inches off the ground, and I thought maybe I'll clear it, maybe I won't. But I was thinking worst case scenario, it would just kind of plop up on top and high center and that would be the end of it. But I hit it kind of head on with the front corner of the frame and the jolt knocked the hood loose and buckled it just like that. So I gotta find a way to get that hood fixed so it'll sit right. And what I'm thinking is I can take these existing screws out and run a metal strip along both sides of the plastic and the steel, and then run rivets in to hold it all together. And that should add a little bit of strength to this plastic. I mean, it's almost 25-year-old plastic, so it's not a big surprise that it's pretty fragile and brittle. But I'll do what I can to preserve it and keep it from breaking in the future, and I'm definitely not gonna drive over the gate track again. But I guess that's just one of the downsides to having a slam mower, or slammed anything really as far as static slammed, but it's not the end of the world. We can always fix it. So let's jump right into it. The first thing I'm gonna do is get the body and everything off of here, and we're gonna take a look at the pulleys, at the belt and everything, and see how it's holding up so far after the first couple hours and couple miles. All right, let's take a quick first look at it. The belt seems fine. It's not getting chewed up in any spots. All our pulleys are still in place. Look back there, all of our guards are still upright. Nothing's bent out of whack. Everything looks great. All right, so let's get this out of the way, set it down on the floor. We'll throw the body up here and get to welding. All right, so I've got these sections welded up just right around the shifter and the brake area. Now what I need to do is finish everything else. So I know I have, this is like the worst of it. This is the big gap. I'm gonna have some 1/4 inch round stock that I'll put on the back side, and that'll be like a filler and stabilizer, and weld that all up. Then I gotta come over, finish welding these fender sections around the back. Same thing on this fender, welding those up. And then on my tunnel box, I have to go all the way around top and bottom on the seams and on the seat right there. So, yeah, look at this one. Ooh, that's a fatty, but we can make it work. So I'd say I got probably maybe 3 or 4 hours of welding to do on this. I'm gonna try to make it as digestible as possible. It's obviously gonna be ran through pretty quick, but I should be able to get everything done. And just like last time, I'm gonna do one section at a time. It's gonna be probably about a 1/2 inch of weld per section. So I'll put a 1/2 inch of weld right here, and then I can come over, do a 1/2 inch right here, a 1/2 inch up here, a 1/2 inch over here, and then just work my way around the body multiple times until everything gets welded up. That should keep it from warping and getting distorted. So I'll get the camera set up and we'll get right into welding. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get my 1/4 inch round stock, and I'll line it up on my fat gap right here. And I'm gonna take a Sharpie and mark the spot right there in the top corner. I'll cut this off and then stick it in on the back side, and it'll be a combination filler material, and it'll help stabilize this fender a little bit. So I'm gonna get this cut off at my Sharpie mark. I'll get it tacked into the fender, and then I'll work on the other side. All right, we got both of our filler metal pieces welded in here. So the next thing I'm gonna do is get my wire wheel and clean up some of these older spots that have been sitting, got a little bit of surface rust on them. Get the surface rust cleaned off and get right into welding. Well, we got the welding finished. It only took about 2.5 hours, so it's not as bad as I was expecting, but there's a lot of cleaning up to do. So one of the biggest downsides to using a flux core welder like this is all the spatter that you end up with. And let me know down in the comments if there's a way to let the spatter not stick. I know there's like some anti-spatter gel and there's some aerosol sprays and stuff. I haven't tried them. I've used the gel, the nozzle gel on a gas shielded MIG welder, but I've never tried using it to prevent this spatter sticking to the working surfaces. But it's not too bad. Everything's welded up solid. This frame, this body is extremely solid. There's no real flex to it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is use the 4.5-inch grinder with an actual grinding wheel on it. I'm gonna go all the way around, hit all the spots that I can reach with that grinding wheel, and then I'll come back with a flap disc or a sanding wheel and I'll polish up some of those welds. And I also have these flap disc drill attachments that'll help me get into the tighter corners and the tighter spots. So let's get right into grinding and sanding and see what we're left with. All right, well, I'm gonna call that just about finished for the welding, grinding, and sanding on the body. I got everything done to the best of my ability with the tools that I have, and I'll tell you right now, those little sanding drill attachments are absolute garbage for what I'm trying to use it for. They may be great for fine woodworking and little things like that, but when you're trying to remove metal from metal, I would just expect a little bit more out of it, a little bit more abrasiveness. It was supposed to be a 60 grit, and it did not seem to bode very well. And it may have just been the sharp edges on the weld. It was just eating the paper up and flying paper dust around everywhere. But I got it all pretty much done. All the blemishes and the ugly parts are concealable, in my opinion, I think. And I think with the right amount of body filler, primer, and paint, this thing's gonna be looking cherry. So let's get this off the table, get the rest of the mower up here, and see what we can do about that hood. All right, now that I got it up here on the table, we can take a good look at the damage on the front end from where I hit the gate track. And there were only 2 screws holding the front nose, the plastic nose, onto the metal hood. And where the screws went through the plastic, that plastic just broke away. It's 25-year-old plastic, should be expected. I guess I should have put a couple more screws along the top just for extra reinforcement, but I have a solution. So the first thing I'm gonna need to do is get these screws out of here so I can set the hood back up where it's supposed to be. And then I got a piece of some thin scrap sheet metal, and I'll clean this up so it's not jagged edge, but I'll be able to put this right over on the plastic side and run rivets. I'll probably run about 5 or 6 rivets down the length of this, through the sheet metal, through the plastic, and then through the metal tab of the hood down here. And on the back side, I got some rivet washers, so I'll put 3/16 rivets through the top, put a rivet washer on the back side, and then crimp it down. And it should be good to go after that. Obviously, it's still old plastic. There's still gonna be some fracture and breaking points, especially because this driver's side is not that bad. The passenger side where it broke through, it seems to be splitting and cracking pretty bad. But I think distributing the stress along multiple rivets and having the extra support of the sheet metal and the rivet washers underneath, I think will come out all right. And I definitely am not gonna try to cross that gate track again, or anything that sits over basically a ½ an inch off the ground. So I'm gonna get the screws out of here first. We'll get all this plastic cleaned up as much as we can. I'm gonna get my sheet metal cleaned up, drill out the holes, pop in the rivets, and we'll have a functional hood again. Well, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but doggone it, it's functional and I'm happy. I got the hood all back together in one piece, no more buckling. It feels stronger than ever. Also got the body all welded up, everything's ground down, sanded, and we're moving right along. It feels weird not having this put together to go for a test drive at the end of the video, but in the very next video, I'm gonna be jumping right into body filler, primer, and paint. So I'm just leaving it apart, save myself a little bit of heartache and trouble. But if you like what you see, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you got something on your mind, leave me a comment down below. And otherwise, subscribe so you don't miss anything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.
Oh, that's not bad.